Hello and welcome back to I Have No Idea What I'm Doing, a show all about learning. Now, I had mentioned in the previous episode that today was going to be all about getting some design work done and really getting the app looking nice and pulling together. But that's actually quite a lot of work, and if you don't know, I spent the last few weeks running a conference, so I have very little spare time on my hands to do these videos. So instead, today we are going to be looking at routing. Now, as I said, I've not got much time, so let's just... Okay, we're going to start this episode with a little bit of debugging because there's a bit of an issue that we had. So I recently updated Node on my computer, so my local version of Node is now version 9 instead of version, I think it was on like 6 or something, which should have updated a while ago, but there we go. And now when I do yarn start, it doesn't start, basically. I did a lot of digging, and it turns out that the culprit was this Node externals thing that we included last time for the tests. So even doing yarn test breaks as well. So we added this for the tests, and it seems to break the tests. And the easiest way to fix it is to just entirely delete it. And now when we do yarn test, the tests actually run. You can see we've got from the last episode all our component things that we wrote are running and passing fine. So I have a feeling that this Node externals thing was something that I needed to include with the older version of Node, but don't need to with the actual current version of Node. So if you're having the same issues, this is how you fix it. And then just to clean things up, I'm going to remove it from the package.json as well. So we should be able to just delete that and get rid of that comma. And if we do yarn start now, we should... Hey, we've got Devs Against Humanity back. Okay, good. So, as I mentioned in the intro, I haven't got a great deal of time to record this episode today as conference things have got in the way, basically. So I am going to pick up something fairly simple that shouldn't have too many issues. And I'm just going to go straight through and try and go completely unedited and aim for a sub 30-minute episode. So this is going to be quite tricky, but we'll see how we go. What I'm going to look at is routing. So basically what I want to do is we've got this, the main screen where we can pass the cards and we can deal the deck and everything like that. This is just a dummy screen, really. This isn't going to be an actual screen in the app. So I'm going to make this live at /test so we can always test it. I am going to create another route where we've got a card and we can change the text dynamically on it just to pass to test passing dynamic things to the routing, which is something we will need later on. And then I'm going to look at linking, we're creating a basic index page that will link to these two things. So largely not what we want in terms of the app itself, but Misty jumping down. What was I saying? So largely not very useful in terms of the app itself, but remember we're doing this to learn, and I'd rather learn routing in these convoluted, silly examples within the app than get too bogged down with the problems that we're going to have with routing later on, where we need to have UUIDs for game rooms and things like that. So if we can get the basics out of the way now, it'll really help us further down the line. So let's get started by doing what we should always do and Google Vue Routing. Okay, let's just go with the first result. So, for most single-page applications, it's recommended to use the officially supported Vue Router library. For more details, view the documentation. Okay. Or we can do simple routing from scratch. Let's just use the official. Let's stick with what the first line of the documentation tells us to do. I'll just close that. Official route for Vue.js only works with Vue 2. That's fine. We're using Vue 2. It does nested view mapping, modular component-based router configuration, route params, transition effects, navigation control, active CSS classes. Yeah, so more than enough for what we need, really. Have I missed something? Oh yeah, get started with the documentation. There we go. Japanese? No. English. Installation. Let's get this installed. So if I turn that off for now, npm install Vue router. So I just want yarn add Vue router. Cool. That was relatively painless. npm start that back up. Oh, actually, I want to let's stick with yarn. I do seem to jump between yarn and npm quite a lot. They do largely the same thing, but I'm trying to get into the habit of using yarn a little bit more. So yeah, let's use yarn basically. So we import Vue, we import the Vue router, and then we tell Vue to use the Vue router. Fair enough. I'm going to skip that for now. Let's have a look at getting started. So, creating a simple page application is dead simple. I like dead simple. Dead simple's good. Adding Vue router to the mix, map our components to the routes, and let Vue. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, so this is fairly similar to what I'm used to in React, I guess. So it looks. Oh no, it's a little bit different. Yeah, okay, so you've got two router components essentially here. You've got router link and router view. If I am understanding this correct, router link will link you to a page. So it's kind of like an A link, but specifically for the Vue router. And the router view will display what should be displayed at that route, I guess. So I would imagine down here, yeah, there we go. So when the path is foo, render the component foo in the router view. When the path is bar, render the component bar in the router view. So, okay. And then we set up a new Vue router with these routes, and then we pass that to the Vue app. So this is kind of like how the store works in a way. We set everything up, then pass it to the Vue app. Right, okay, well, before we do that, I've just had a thought. There is something we're going to have to do here. If I open up app.vue, so this is our main component for the app, we kind of have the view for what we're going to be calling the test view almost hard-coded into the app.vue. So what I want to do is create an entirely new component that is just the test view, so that we can say when we go to test, load in the test view. This will make more sense if I just do it, really. So if I create a new one of these and call it the test screen. Don't think. Yeah, I don't actually need to change anything in test screen. And then inside app.vue, if I just delete everything in the template, I delete these, and I delete these. Oh. And instead of importing the hand, I want to import the test screen from test screen.vue and pass it the component of test screen. And don't want any style stuff in there. Now just to show that, yeah, okay, so app is now blank. Now if I pass in, oh no, test screen, I should, yeah, there we go, good, right. So all I've done there is I've wrapped what was originally the app inside a new, can I get the Vue Dev Tools? Where are my Vue Dev Tools? Huh. Two ticks. I am going to make a quick edit. I'm just going to re-enable Vue Dev Tools. Okay, so Vue Dev Tools is back. I did a bit of a cleanup on my laptop, which is when Node got updated, and I appear to have removed Vue Dev Tools, which was a bit silly, but it's alright, it's fine, it's back now. So you can see what we have now. Before we just had the app with the play area deck and the hand in there, but now we've got this sort of wrapper component called test screen that encapsulates this play area deck and hand. Now visually at the moment it makes absolutely no difference, but this will allow us to switch between screen apps, screen components when the route changes. So if we got /test, we can say render the test screen. Otherwise, don't render the test screen, basically. It just keeps app a little bit cleaner. So, routing. Yeah, let's get started with routing. Right. So we've got the router link, router view thing. That's all good. I think what I'll do, if I open up main.js, and we'll just do it all in here for now, and then we'll split it out into a separate router file to make it a bit cleaner. But if we can just hack it into here, it'll make things a bit simpler. So we want to import router from Vue Router. Thank you, autocomplete. That should be good. It doesn't actually. Anyway, let's carry on. So they've got these routes, and then we create a new Vue router with these routes, and then we pass them to the. Right. So const routes equals. Is it an array? Is it an object? It's an array. In fact, let's just copy that for now. We'll get rid of that. Path test, and we want to pass it our test screen component, which means we're going to have to import test screen from components test screen. Okay, let's get rid of that. And then we want to create a router. In fact, let's just paste that in. We'll get rid of that because we know how ES6 works now, don't we? Or ES 2015 or whatever. Routes. Nice. And then I think we just pass router in here. Let me double check. Yeah, so we instantiate Vue a little different to this example, but it should work. Oh, cannot resolve components. Test screen. Why can't you? Let's look at the file structure. Oh, because it's test screen.vue. That's looking better. That's broken. Vue router is not defined. Oh, because I just called it router. Let's just call that Vue router, whatever. Alright, okay, good. So nothing's broken. We appear to be using Vue router because we've got this thing. I don't overly like that. we'll deal with it for now. I'll work out how to turn it off a little bit later. Right. Now we need to update the actual HTML. So what they've got here is we've got the router views and the router links. I'll forego the router links for now. But if we go back into app.vue, and instead of calling test screen, if we have router view. Now in theory, what should happen is on the home page, we should see nothing because there are no routes for the home page defined. And then when we go to /test, we should pass the component of test screen into the router view. This is the theory. This may not be what happens in practice. Let's find out. Okay, good. Yeah, this is right. So we're seeing nothing on the home screen. Drum roll. Ah, feck. Let's have a look at the console, shall we? Unknown custom element router view. Did you register the component correctly? Let's see, what have we not done? That's unimportant. We've done that. We haven't done that because we've used other components. It's fine. Oh, there's a step 0. Of course there is. If using a module system, import Vue and vue-router and then call vue.use vue-router. So I'm assuming, yeah, we've imported vue-router and we've imported Vue, but we have not said vue.use vue-router. Let's add that in. Hey! Nothing at the home page and the test screen at /test. Happy days. Let's get rid of you. And everything should work as before. It does. Happy days. Onions, and clowns. Okay, good. I'm happy with that. Let's do a little bit of cleanup. Let's get all of this router stuff into its own file. So I'm not going to worry too much about the tests for now. So I'll turn them off and I will make a new directory called router. Yeah. And then I will router index.js. Okay, so let's go to router. And in here, I want to let's export default router. And then can I just do that? Let's say vue-router test screen vue.use. So probably want to import Vue from just Vue. Import vue-router, import test screen, Vue use vue-router. There's my routes, there's my router, and then I export the router. And then, okay, yeah, I want to import router from router. Now, as with store, this will look in the router folder and it will automatically import the index file here. So in theory, we've just pulled everything out from here that's to do with the router, put it in this router folder file, and then imported it back into here. So it's almost exactly the same as what we'd written before. Things seem to not be working. Can't resolve components test. Oh, right, okay, that's right, that makes sense. So because we're now in the router folder, our component is now in a slightly different place in relation to the where we've pulled it in here. So we need to jump up a directory before we jump into components. So that should... Whee! Happy days. Right. There's the home screen. Okay, good. Good. And if we go into here and do a router link, what is it? Is it 2? 2. 2 equals test. I just say test screen. Oh, one root element. Right, yeah, of course. It's this old chestnut. Wrap everything in a div and everything is fine. So we now have a link to the test screen. It's not beautiful, but it works. We can now link to the test screen and we can do all this lovely stuff. I may remove that in a bit because it is very ugly, isn't it? But before I do that, let's create a new one to card. In fact, yeah, card screen. So now if we go there, we should have got card. That's good. And then if I create a new view, test screen.view. Let's create a new one. And we'll just call it card screen.view. There's no table in this one. We are just going to have a card with text equals banana and face up equals true. And let's import that card from card. Let's delete them. Let's delete these. Let's put you up on a single line and call you card. Okay, good. Right, style scopes. Don't need that anymore. Now, inside our router, if we have a new one of these, and we say card screen, card screen. Oh, let's put that in. Oh, hey, this routing looks pretty good, isn't it? So we've now got a test screen and we've got a card screen route. Happy days. 2 different routes, jumping between them like a boss. So, the last thing I want to do with routes is I want to check passing variables through, I guess. So route parameters, that's what I'm looking for. So if we do like /card/ sausages, it's going to take us to nowhere currently, but I want that to be a card that says sausages. So let's see if I go back here. We are looking for, is it dynamic route matching? Yeah, this is it. this is it. Dynamic segments start with a colon. This is fairly standard in most JavaScript libraries. So if we do in here, instead of just /card, we do /card/ text. And then we can pull this text section into our component using this root.params. In theory, this is actually app no longer needs this test screen stuff. So in fact, it needs none of that script tag at all. So let's get rid of that. App's now nice and simple. Card screen. What did it say? root.params.id. So I should be able to do that. Does that work? Oh, right, yeah. I need my colon to say that it's a dynamic prop. It's not working because I'm looking for an ID and I'm actually passing it text, I believe I called it. Yeah, text. Sausages. There we go. So in theory, we can now go to card/whatever we want. And now we can have a card that says whatever we want. So if we want a card that says, does it do caps? Onions and bread. Hey, it does do caps. It's not important. So, yeah, there we go. That was actually pretty painless. So we've got, I'll do a bit of a summary here because I have barreled through this in the interests of time. But what we have done in summary is we now have a test screen view and we have a card screen view. Actually, that link is a little broken. So let's do /card/ change me in the URL. Yeah, there we go. URL bar, that'll do. Okay, so we have got two screens. We have got our card screen where you can dynamically change the text to whatever and it shows up on the card. And we have our test screen, which is what the app has been up until now, really. It's, again, neither of these are particularly useful. But I wanted to make sure I had my head wrapped around routing and things before diving into it properly. So, yeah, that's really nice. And you can see it's quite simple the way we've done it, really. So we've got these router links and then this test screen is there because it's taking this router view and it is replacing it with the test screen because the router view is set to /test. And if we've got a card screen, it's because the router view is set to card/text. It changes it to card screen, so we can see that in there, and that's pretty nice. Okay, so that was routing. It was fairly painless, actually, and I've even managed to get everything done that I wanted to in just about half an hour. So I am on track for getting this edited and uploaded and everything for tomorrow morning. It's been tight. It's been a bit of a rush, I'll be honest. So very quickly, if you want to follow along, you can do with the repo. The repo is in the description. You can follow on from this episode or any of the episodes. Just look at the tags. And if you liked this, if you're happy with how this is going, or if you're not, just let's start a discussion. Just get some comments going, or get in touch with us on Twitter at FrontendNE. I've got to go and get this edited now, so please remember, I have no idea what I'm doing.